Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Farhan Alfarizi, NPM 2032 from class Tech 3A. In this time, I will presentation about floor slab work. In this slide, we can see my presentation about IAIN Kerinci Campus Building Construction Project. Right here we can see floor plan to elevation 4,450, and right here we can see my documentation at the project. Next, we can see floor plan 3 elevation 8,950, and this one is floor plan deck elevation 13,500, and right here we can see plate detail. Next, we can see A casting. First, ready mix K175 concrete specification, comprehensive strength 175 kg per centimeter square, mixture cement 300 kg, split stone 1010 kg, stone S 200 kg, sand 1 262 kg, sand 2 413 kg, water 180 liters, admixture 0.09 liter, density 2,365 kg. Next, we talk about framework. Right here we can see plain iron. The specification is made of steel, size diameter 10 mm, 24 BGTP steel quality, good iron condition, strike and not rust. Next, we can see concrete wire specification, made of galvanized stainless, size 1 roll equal 1 kg. Wire is in good condition and does not rust. Next, we can see wire mesh specification is wire mesh sheet, width 5.4 meters, length 2.1 meters, iron size 8 mm thread, box diameter 15 cm times 15 cm. Wire mesh is in a good condition and doesn't rust. Next, we can see steel deck or smart deck specification is steel deck sheet, width 3 meter, length 1 meter, size 0.7 mm, BMT, good condition. In this slide, we can see formwork. The first one is multiplex specification, size 1,220 times 2,440 millimeters by 9 millimeters thickness, in good condition of wood, straight and not weathered. Next is batten specification, size 2 times 4 cm, B quality wood, good condition of wood, straight and not weathered. Next is nail specification, size 0.5 inch and 2.5 inch, made of steel, nail in good condition, straight and not rust. Next is formwork oil specification, 1 liter size, made from processed carbon, good condition. Next, we can see block wood specification, size 4 times 4 centimeters, B quality wood, good condition of wood, straight and not weathered. And next slide, we can see work method. In the implementation of the steel deck floor slab casting work on the IAIN Kerinci Building Construction Project, the implementation process is almost the same as conventional floor slab casting. Next, we talk about steel deck working method. The use of steel deck on this floor slab in the process of making formwork is almost the same as conventional concrete slab. The difference is that steel deck is used as a formwork forming material to replace multiplex on conventional slab. The steel deck is a factory product, and for standard and strength, it has been designed by the company that produced this product. Next, we talk about steel deck appointment. The process is steel deck is lifted, then steel deck or smart deck is placed in a predetermined place. Steel deck is then compiled and placed by workers. Second, steel deck cutting. The process is as follows. After the steel deck has been arranged for a suitable steel deck, it needs to be linked, and a special tool is used, a special clamp tool. But in this project, the steel deck is directly overwritten to be assembled. Next, for the edges of this steel deck material plate, it is placed to support a minimum of 2.5 cm on the edge of the beam. The next step is the cutting process. In this project, the process uses a hand grinding machine. This cutter should use a special steel nibbler cutter tool. Nibbler cutter is a cutting tool specially designed for cutting steel materials. The steel deck part that exceeds the floor limit is cut according to field condition. The part that exceeds the floor limit is cut as shown in the picture. The third is steel deck linking. How to do it? Namely, the first step is to place the stud bolt in the plain place. Namely, the edge of the steel deck and the steel deck beam is placed. Then use a power gun to lock or link the steel deck. 4. Install and stop. The next step is to install an end stop that has a function so that later during the concrete casting process it doesn't spill. The end stop is attached to the edge of the steel deck by means of being bolted directly to the steel deck. But previously, the end stop was cut as needed with a hand grinder. Next, we talk about reinforcing. First one is shear connector installation. Installation of the shear connector. This work is done before placing the wire mesh sheet. Shear connector is a reinforcing steel that has the function of iron as a shear connector. The shear connector is welded on the surface of the steel deck plate, as well as a wire mesh support to be attached to the steel deck. The binding process applied in this project is by welding. Second, wire mesh installation. Next, the wire mesh reinforcement is installed above the shear connector that has been welded to the steel deck that has been installed. The process or method of installation is not difficult. The wire mesh iron is lifted and held over the steel deck, placed on the shear connector, then tied to the iron using a wire. In the implementation, there are also other ways that can be used, namely iron wire mesh and shear connector are linked by welding. Next, we talk about casting. In this process is not much different from casting on conventional plates. However, before the casting process carried out, the first step that needs to be done is the installation of scaffolding that serves to support so that there is no decrease in the casting. The working step, the casting process are as follows. The first one, before starting the casting process, it begins with an inspection in which there is also cleaning of the remaining material left on the steel deck or formwork. The site cleaning work is intended so that the area to be casted is completely free of dirt, and when casting is carried out, a strong bond between the reinforcement and concrete will be produced so that concrete will be solid as desired. Second, after the concrete mixer truck arrives in the field, a slump test is carried out first by using a truncated cone. The slump test serves to compare the slump value whether it has been as planned. Third, after the slump value meets the requirements, ready-made concrete is ready to be poured on the pump truck machine and then directly distributed over the formwork. Fourth, concrete is poured as close to its final position as possible, as quickly and efficiently as possible, so that separation avoided and the concrete fully compacted. Pouring starts on Pouring start at one and goes backward. Concrete should not be poured in separate piles, which are then leveled. The concrete should also not be poured in large piles and then shifted into place so as not to cause separation, as the paste tends to flow before the coarse material. In the casting process, adequate care must be taken. If there is an error in casting, then the repair costs as high and large. Fifth, in this process, the caster must be able to spread the concrete well. The concrete mixture that is poured in the area to be cast is pulled or spread into the empty part or part to be cast until it's filled with the concrete mixture evenly. The equipment used is hoe or shovel. 6. After fresh concrete is stirred, transported, and poured, it's still containing air in the form of air voids. For the compaction, require compaction to remove as much of the air as possible. How to compact the air cavity can be removed with a shovel, crush, or even by trampling. That's it, my presentation, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
This is about building basement construction. The first step is the excavation. This excavation is assisted by a tool called an excavator. Then the next step is the watering or draining the soil. The tool used for the watering is a piezometer. And the next step is the installation of foundation, usually with a pile foundation. After the foundation is complete, the next step is the manufacture of reinforced concrete, and usually done manually. And the next is the casting to make the walls and floors. The last is finishing, such as the installation of electrical installation and the water pipes. After completion, the basement must pass a feasibility test, usually using a load test. And then, thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Meidito Mahendra, Ibrahim, 2024, from Group 1. I want to present the result of the survey assessment for the basement building. Implementation to the basement structure work. Usually, an underground or basement areas established additional space for parking, food court, goods warehouse, and more. The basement is located under the ground, so it has enormous influence on the foundation of the building. When a problem happens, the following are some steps of working that must be done in making the basement. The following are some of the steps of work that must be done in making a basement. Number 1, digging subgrade. Number 2, the watering progress. Number 3, foundation installation. Number 4, wall concrete bonding. Number 5, creating the basement walls and floor. Number 6, finishing after the casting is complete. The last step is to carry out electrical installation and finishing. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Afifah Fitri. My NPM is 2115 41 0029. And now I'm going to do a presentation about stair. This is the building that I went to, exactly in IAIN Kerinci Sungai Penuh. And as you can see, there are the main stairs, class stairs on the second floor and on the third floor. This part I'm going to show you how to make a cast concrete staircase. Number 1, make a ladder foundation. Generally, the type of foundation used is a pair of river stone foundation, reinforced concrete, or you can also use a combination from the both. Number 2, make framework. After the foundation is there, make the stair framework. You have to know elevation or height of the floor in the below. But also you have to know the level of the slope of the stairs to maintain safety. Number 3, installing reinforcement of the body and building frame. First, you need to install the main reinforcement followed by a series using strap reinforcement. Number 4, installation of stairs reinforcement. To avoid errors, the reinforcement concrete stairs will be continued to be poured of the stairs reinforcement by wire bonding. Then reinforcement was installed lengthening with the purpose to make the stairs stronger. Concrete decking is also installed on the same side as the form. Now, if the progress of installation of the borders, reinforcement and the stairboard has been completed, you can install the stairs walls on the other side and the border walls at the upper of the stairs body. This stairs wall form will be nailed to the stairs body form. Number 5, casting progress. The casting progress must be performed entirely on the stairwell. After finish, lift a few times. Meanwhile, the progress of the dismantling the walls of the stairs and the traps can start when the concrete has reached about 12 hours. This is to review the strength of concrete. As for the board of stairs and borders, it can only be implemented when you have reached 7 days, and it really will test this point of borders. Beams is similar to progress of removing a regular beam. That's all for my presentations about stairs. Thank you so much, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Maulana Ibrahim. I'm from Group 1, MPM 1910015410007, and my partner.
Okay, my name is Dwi Bintang Setiawan. My NPM 181100164.
Okay, meaning foundation. Understanding the foundation is a most basic part of the construction of a building. The foundation serves to transmit the load from the top of the structure to the bottom layer. The foundation of the building is very important because it functions as a support for the load of the building. The foundation of the building is an important element to produce a strong and sturdy building. Next, the type of foundation and its shape itself is determined by certain factor, such as the weight of the building being supported, or it could be by the condition of the soil around the area to build the foundation. The weight of the foundation is also determined by the weight of the building to be supported. If the condition of the soil around the foundation area is uneven or has a slope that exceeds 10%, the foundation will usually be adjusted to the state of the soil, which is made flat or formed stairs with the bottom and top equally. Number 1, foot foundation is a standalone foundation. The support column is a structural foundation that support individual loads, namely loads that are directly transmitted from the column to this footing. The shape of this foundation resembles a plate like a layer of concrete with a certain thickness according to need. Support building and others gravel and wood to paint it, although it is included in the shadow foundation. This type of foundation is suitable for building with deep foundation, of course, with adjusted specification. Number 2, elongated foundation or stone foundation that is used to support a longitudinal wall or is used to support a row of closely split column. But we often encounter in the field this type of stone foundation is in the form of the block. Number 3, rough foundation or mat foundation is a foundation that is used to support building located on soft soil or used when the aggregation of column is so closely split in all directions that if a flat foundation is used, the site will coincide with each other. The advantages of this foundation are many, including to record the settlement that occurs in certain areas. The concrete slab will compensate for the amount of load that must be carried so that all foundation can be flat. Number 4, well foundation is a transitional from between shadow foundation and pile foundation, used when the strong subgrade is located at a relatively deep. The diameter of this foundation is between 16 and 18, with various depths ranging from 1 meter to up 5 meters. The foundation is usually used from unstable soil condition, so as former swept embankment, soil or muddy soil condition, usually at the top of the foundation given iron so that it can be sloped, which has a larger size, and the slope in general. Number 5, cushion foundation or deer pile. Deer foundation is type of the foundation made by perforating the ground with a drilling system and then installing reinforced iron in the hole and followed by casting. Please note how to drill holes. You can do it manually or manually. Hydraulic for the large size of the whole circle of or the required depth of soil excavation. The concrete reinforcement structure and also be adjusted to the need and carrying capacity of the soil and the construction load to be carried. Number 6, pile foundation used when the foundation soil at normal depth is not able to support the load, and hard soil is located is very deep, like this. If the foundation of the building is located on the sufficiently high embankment, so that if the building is placed on the embankment, it will be accessed by a large settlement. The difference with the wheel foundation is that the pile foundation is generally smaller in diameter and longer. Okay. Next.
I will continue the presentation of foundation planning. Number one, preparation before making the foundation. A. Soil inspection. The first thing that must be done of course is inspection. Normally, we have to check the location as well as the soil to develop on the foundation. Lest we just come from drawing a foundation, but after it is made in the field, it is turned out that not suitable, so that it cannot be applied. The benefit of the soil inspection include to determine the physical and mechanical properties of the existing soil layer and the site, while with the result of the reliability test on disturbed soil samples and understanding soil samples. To find out how strength of the soil is building. To find out how deep the water table is this done by boring. To take soil samples by boring. B. Doing analysis. After conducting our soil inspection, the next step is to carry out an analysis that is no less important. Normally, to conduct an analysis by testing in the samples in the laboratory. This is to find out various things including determine the bearing capacity of soil foundation and deep foundation based on the soil strength of the soil or inside test. Evaluate the size of the subtest due to the load and the building. After all of the above and be done, of course, we have got data for the soil inspection. After the data is given the engineering, the data will later determine type, size, and detail of the foundation are right to build and fill. C. Limitation to the above contraction. The condition of the area of the set, time and cost work. The type of foundation is the solid, right and strong. In planning imprinting of a foundation, several things must be fulfilled normally. The foundation must be placed properly so that it doesn't slide due to the external influences. The foundation must be safe from sliding during capacity. The foundation must be safe from excessive substance. That's why I have been explaining about the understanding of the foundation after foundation. The type of kind of foundation of their analysis in planning are performed considering several things in causing the appropriate type of foundation. Of course, we must refer to the applicable loading regulation or SNE. That's the result of survey about the construction of the WMP engineering building. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya dari kelompok 1, nama Muhammad Kurnia, NPM 20 100 154 136.
Perkenalkan, nama saya Alif Sultan Akhiko, NPM 20 100 154 138.
BEMS. BEMS are structural elements that function to transmit the load to columns. BEMS are part of the core structure of the building in addition to columns and furniture. So the casting must be done properly. Type of BEM. 1. A cantilever is the type of project BEM of the outer rigid structure, supported only on fixed end. In answer sensei, this one beam is unsuitable for bearing the load at the end that has no support. 2. The trellis beam is the simple type of beam that has an angled shape. This one beam faces one of the supporting columns. 3. Three-section beam is the beam that has angled. This one beam faces one of the supporting columns. 4. Supported span in one type is simple beam. What is the support by support in the two span with spin, connection, constriction, and zero moments. Beam restriction. 1. Iron skew. 2. Wire. 3. Please. Framework. 1. Plywood. 2. Batters. 3. Nail. 4. Framework only.
Method of implementation of beams. Number 1. Scope of work. Iron work, formwork work, and foundry work. Number 2. Preparatory work. Manufacture and submit sub-drawings for concrete block installation work. Approval of material to be used. Number 3. Measurement. The surveyor takes measurements with a water pass and give a mark for the position of the concrete beams placement point. Number 4. Ironwork. Reinforcing of assembling reinforcement is done in another place that is more convenient. Iron assembly must be in accordance with working drawings. Number 5. Formwork work. Installation of the screw can use nails as adhesive. The nails are nailed using a hammer. Number 6. Foundry work. Casting of concrete is carried out using quality concrete in accordance with technical specification. Number 7. Beams formwork demolition. After the concrete is 28 days old, can be opened 24 hours where the concrete slab is stable. Number 8. Beams maintenance work. After the casting is carried out, to maintain the quality of the concrete is maintained. Concrete treatment is carried out. The concrete treatment is done by watering the concrete 2 times a day for 1 week.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. On this occasion, we will present a survey report on the construction project of the Faculty of Engineering, Padang State University. My name is Fadel Arrafi. My NPM is 20 100 154 123, and my friend
Sekar Komala Dewi, NPM 20 100 154 111.
We will present the column structure work method. Next. On this slide, there are attached sub-drawing of the column work. In this sub-drawing, we can see the detail of column dimension and the column iron details. We can see the detail of the column from the first floor to the 4th floor. Next, and this is the documentation of our survey. Next is work materials. A. Foundry. In this foundry, we are using concrete K250. The specification is A. The compressive strength is 254 kg per centimeter square. B. The mixture. In this mixture, we are using cement 250 kg, split stone 1010 kg, gray stone 188 kg, sand number 1 247 kg, sand number 2 388 kg, 118 liter of water, and admixture 0.11 liter. And C. density, we are using density with 2,374 kilogram. Next, B is repetition. Number 1 is iron screw. The specification is the iron screw is made of steel. In this slide, we can see the diameter and the number of iron screw we are using from the first floor to the fourth floor. We can see in here. Next is the same with the previous slide. Next, number two is concrete wire. The specification of this concrete wire is the concrete wire is made of galvanized. Galvanized is a material with anti-rust material, and the one size of this concrete roll is 1 kilogram. Wire must be in a good condition and doesn't rust. Next, C is formwork. In this formwork, we are using multiplex 9mm. The specification of this multiplex is using size 1,220 times 440 millimeter with thickness of 9mm. The condition of the wood is good, straight and not rotten. Next is number 2 is buttons. The specification of this button is using the size of 2 times 4 centimeter. The condition of the wood is good, straight and not rotten, and has a B quality wood. Number 3 is nails. The specification of this nail is as a bender between wooden beams and plywood. The nail size is 0.5 inch. The nail is made of steel and the nails are in good condition, straight and not rusty. Next, number 4 is formwork oil. The specification is the size is 1 liter and made from processed carbon material, and formwork oil in a good condition. Next is job method, and my friend will be presenting this job method.
Job method. Column dimension. According to the attached shop drawing. Reinforcement assembly. 1. After the slope has hardened or cooked perfectly, the next job is column work. 2. Assemble two column reinforcement by spreading the iron according to the size and dimension that have been set. Then make the stirrup reinforcement according to the size and dimension that have been set. Cut the stirrup iron with a bar cutter as needed, and then bend it using a bending tool. After stirrup finish, arrange the stirrup on the previous string of column reinforcement with a distance of 100 mm for the support and 150 mm for the file. The stirrups are fastened with concrete wire tightly. After the installation of the stirrup is complete and the column is ready to be attached to the iron that is intentionally added to the pile cap by installing vertical reinforcement for the column. Then tie it with iron wire so that it is firmly connected. After that, enter the formwork process. The next formwork. After the reinforcements stand firmly. Next is the installation of the formwork. Measure the height and width of the need for multiplex and battens with a tape measure for formwork. After that, cut it using a saw. After that, attack the battens to support the formwork using nails and a hammer. Next, foundry. After the formwork is finished, perform the casting process with K250 ready-mix concrete, which a channel to the concrete pump first. Then the funnel of the concrete pump is direct above the mouth of the column formwork, assisted by a coordinator using a ladder, while compacted using a concrete vibrator. After the cast column is full and solid, wait until it hardens, and after the column hardens, remove the formwork from the column.
Okay, maybe that's all from our presentation. Sorry for our mistake. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Perkenalkan, nama saya Hadinata, NPM 20100101449. Baiklah, saya akan mempresentasikan hasil laporan survei saya, yaitu pada elemen pekerjaan struktur untuk bagian infrastruktur. Pada bangunan TKP ini itu bagian atas. Ini berbentuk bahasa Inggris. Pertama, atap. The roof is the cover of a building that protects the inside building from rain or snow. The scape of the roof is flat and thus is shooting. Although flat, it must run water so that it can fall. Materials for roof vary include tiles, polyurethane, asbestos, and casement. There is also a metal tile roof which very light, durable, anti-rust, and earthquake resistant. Types of roof. Number 1, aluminum roof. Aluminum roofs are also one of the most popular types of roof used in Indonesia. The material used for aluminum roof is usually galvanum. Number 2, asbestos roof. Asbestos is often used as a better cause than the use of zinc roofing because it does not absorb heat. Number 3, roof awning. This type of awning roof is usually used for terrace or as window and door protectors. This roof model is made of waterproof fabric, was installation request and iron frame. Number 4, flex steel roof. Flex steel roofs are very popularly used as building roofs by the community because there are quite a lot of installation surface. Number 5, bamboo roof. This type of bamboo roof is usually used in the pavilion to give a natural impression to the building. Usually the bamboo roof is combined with wood material to make it stronger. Roof implementation methods. Prepare, manufacture, and sanction of shop. drawing for turning roof covering work, approval of material to be used, work area prepare. Prepare of work materials include zinc column, lactil, roofing roof, board, screw. Prepare of work tools include scaffolding, water pass, meter, water hose, electric drill, cutting wheel, and grade. Measurement pass, do a field survey for the area where the light tile roof covering will be installed and determine the leveling height of the lightweight steel roof truss. Steel roof truss fabrication and installation. The steel roof truss began to be fabrication when the upper floor column was installed. Assuming that after the ring bulb was finished casting, the steel truss was ready to be installed. Mill steel cutting is done using a mill steel cutting machine. After the ring beam has been casted, measurements and setting are made to make it more accurate. After a size are known and the lightweight steel roof can be installed, white supposed the bad ring with ball reinforcement between steel frames using screw. Because of its high tensile strength and low stiffness, the determining factor in the work of light steel truss is bracing. Installation of mast steel beams. Number 1. Before installing the leg steel beams, make sure that the inclination position of the leg steel truss is the same and strong so that there will be no more change. Number 1. Mild steel truss and airway for installation of beam detaining windows. After all the light steel truss are marked, then the beams are installed on the light steel truss in elbow bed position by reinforcement using screw. Install the ceramic tile of covering. Number 1. After all the light steel truss and beams are installed correctly, then process what the installation of the roof covering use light tile. Number 2. Before the roof covering is installed, all roof surface and the alignment of the ends of the beams and truss are rechecked. Because if the slopes of the beams and truss are not the same, it will cause waterlogging. Number 3. Install the roof cover in the position above the beam, then process with the installation beams, then process with the installation of the roof mount. Number 4. What needs to be considered in the installation of the roof covering is is the distance between the buttons in accordance what predetermined lales. Baiklah, itulah hasil laporan presentasi dari bagian pekerjaan struktur tab. Sekian, terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.